The Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show, presented by Lake Urgent Care on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge. From the Jamboree to the Superdome, your source for the most up-to-date scores and stats is right here. Now, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, here's Cade Wazan, Todd Black, and Jimmy Roy.
Good evening and welcome to the Week 3 edition of Louisiana Prep Scoreboard, presented by Lake Urgent Care. Cade Wazan, Todd Black, and Jimmy Roy, our cast of thousands. We've got Ryan, Cassie, and Skip as well, and we appreciate you tuning in tonight, whether it's on 104.5 FM, 104.9 FM, 98.1 HD2, the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel, or your view. We are going through Week 3 scores. In just about 5 minutes, we'll have a full scoreboard coming your way from Baton Rouge to Acadiana, North and Central Louisiana, North Shore, and down on the Bayou and in New Orleans. And throughout the night, if there is a score you're looking for, we've got that ticker on the bottom of the screen. That is a full scoreboard, all finals from Thursday and Friday night games. But let's get things started with tonight's opening drive.
Taking you through tonight's top stories. This is Opening Drive on the Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show.
So going around the state here in Baton Rouge, one of the games that stands out is the one you just heard on the radio side, where Catholic High and U High were at Memorial, and the Cubs come away victorious in overtime in that one. Out in North Louisiana, Bird improves to 3-0 on the season. West Monroe gets a big win as far as what they're able to put up tonight over North DeSoto. Out in Lafayette, the Wrecking Rams of Acadiana over St. Thomas More. And if you were watching on your view tonight, you saw Rummel get the better of Shaw. Also, I guess if you consider New Orleans area, but more River Parish, Dunham gets a win over St. Charles Catholic tonight.
I'll give you the biggest upset or surprise is a team I talked about a couple of weeks ago, Franklin Parish. They played Calvary this week and won 32-28 over Calvary. So Franklin Parish, they went down to New Orleans, beat West Jefferson pretty bad.
Yeah.
They had a good win last week, and so now they're 3-0 with a big win over Calvary. Calvary got up 14-0 in that one, and just continued to put it on. To get up early, that's your momentum and everything in the first quarter. But sustain that against a good team like Calvary is pretty impressive, and that's
how much Calvary can put up.
Yep,
yeah,
absolutely. That's a big win for Franklin Parish.
Franklin, you think about them, they always have a good record and a good team, and then they get to Neville up there in that district, and then Neville beats them by 40 points.
Right.
But so yeah, for them to get a win over a team with the name Calvary is a big step for them. I hadn't seen that score. That's a good one.
Our friend down in Centerville tells us that Centerville beat Thomas Jefferson 22-21. David Clinton has been a friend of the show for years, reporting scores from down there far. So we really, really appreciate that from you, David. And Centerville 22-21 over Thomas Jefferson.
Any word on the yardage tonight from young Xavier Ford? I know Leesville got the win.
Not yet. You can bet he had a bunch because they scored 60-something.
Wow. Yeah.
And Manny hadn't been scoring many points at all. I think they scored 35. So I don't think Coach will be too happy about that, but we're going to talk to Coach Causey in a little while.
Looking forward to that conversation. But, yeah, Week 3 bringing us a lot more favorable conditions to play in. If you played on Thursday night or tonight, maybe a little muggy, maybe hot, but you'll take that over bad weather conditions that we've had the past 2 weeks. So look forward to seeing everything as it continues to go final back here in the Baton Rouge area. And we'll get to our full scoreboard here in just a second. Central continues to play real well as they get the win over Walker tonight, 42-16, coming off. You come off a win last week, but not just a win. It's a win at home, rivalry week. And so there's a lot of excitement, maybe a lot of energy that goes into that, and you don't have any room to have a letdown because you got a solid team in Walker that you got to take on. So hats off to Coach Semino and the Wildcats keeping things going.
I think Central's pretty good. Offensive line has to improve. I think Coach Semino would tell you that. But other than that, defensively, they're really good. They have some skill guys on the outside that can play. Quarterback wasn't sharp last week. He'll get better. He's a Nichols commit. But I think Central has a shot to possibly win that district this year, to be honest with you. I don't know how they'll match up with Catholic High's defense would be my problem, but Catholic High will have a hard time scoring on Central also. So, but yeah, if you think back to Walker, I think they won 34-14 last week, if I'm not mistaken. But they had 2 punt returns and a defensive interception for a touchdown.
Yeah.
All long plays. They scored on a 70-something yard run by Caden Jones. That was their offense. So they struggled some last week, and Central got off to another fast start just like they did last week against Denham Springs. They were up 21-0 or 21-7 really quick. Walker tried to make a game of it, closed it to 28-16, and Central, it sounds like they just ran away with it in the second half.
Let's get to our first scoreboard of the night, and we turn to Skip. We'll get you through all of the areas, all 5 regions, and we'll start first in the capital city.
The Capital City Scoreboard, insured by State Farm.
University High in overtime defeats Catholic High 27-21. Central over Walker 42-16. Episcopal all over Country Day 51-3. Lutcher defeats Liberty 28-6. John F. Kennedy defeats Sandoval 31-29. St. Michael shuts out Estruma 7-0. Denham Springs defeats Woodlawn 16-13. And Zachary's a 34-33 winner over Carencro.
The New Orleans Bayou Scoreboard, presented by Investar Bank.
Edie White over Hanville 21-18. Rummel defeats Shaw 35-21. Chalmette over Holy Cross 9-7. Dunham is a winner over St. Charles 20-15. Vanderbilt Catholic over Sulphur 28-6. And LB Landry 28. John Ehret 13.
The Acadiana Scoreboard, fueled by frogs at Magnolia Beach.
Acadiana over St. Thomas More 20-7. Turlings Catholic 21. Notre Dame 10. Southside over Madison Prep 27-14. Opelousas over Lake Charles College Prep 27-12. Jennings all over Welsh 54-29. Church Point over Rain 34-27.
The North and Central Louisiana Scoreboard, pumped by Peak Performance.
C.E. Bird over Evangel 35-17. Parkway defeats Houghton 48-7. West Monroe all over North DeSoto 63-14. Airline over Union Parish 56-28. Franklin Parish defeats Calvary 32-28. Ruston over Longview in Texas 21-10. Haynesville defeats Homer 27-12. And Ouachita 43, Sterlington 8.
The North Shore Scoreboard, connected by Rev.
Catholic Point Capee 44, Hannon 27. Lakeshore is a 41-10 winner over North Shore. Warren Easton shuts out Slidell 21-0. Jules Sumner over Loranger 40-28. A-Meet blanks Independence 48-0. And St. Paul defeats De La Salle 21-14.
Thank you, Skip. Getting our scores tonight. If you want to pass along something you saw tonight, you can do so via X at Louisiana Prep. Also on Facebook at the Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Facebook page is where you can pass along your media. If you are in student media, you're interested in student media, if you're at a game, taking video and photos of a game and you want to have those highlighted, I know that we're making that available for you at the Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Facebook page.
Another big score up in North Louisiana, I think, because I really feel like that, Gina's rebounding off of a good year from last year. I thought it'd be a tough win for St. Frederick's, but they won over Gina 15-14. So that's, St. Frederick's has been playing pretty good, but that's a big win for them over Gina.
Absolutely. St. Fred, they were what, 1-1 going into this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they lost last week.
Yeah. But yeah, Gina's been good. Another team that's playing well, not really in that area, but a little further south is Bunkie over in the Alexandria area. They moved to 3-0 tonight.
Going over to Acadiana, does the score for Turlings Catholic and Notre Dame surprise you?
No, not after what Turlings has done the first couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
They're living behind a huge offensive line. It's they've been known for throwing the football a lot. They've had some really good quarterbacks over the years, but they're a run-first football team, and the coaches adapted to their strength, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just beating people physically up front, and that's 3 good wins for Turlings.
And going back up to the top of the state, Ruston starts their tour of Texas with a win over Longview, 21-10. So nice to see they got that going. Like, look, it's a tough week when you're getting on the bus and making those long trips, and it's a lot better when you come back with a W.
They trailed that one 10-7 at the half, so it sounds like Ruston completely dominated in the second half. Neville was up on a team out of Mississippi. I never did see a final.
Holmes County?
Holmes County, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen a final, Todd, on that one?
I have not, no.
We'll look for that final and get more here in. And if there's something, like I said, you want to report, you can do it on the YouTube chat, the Bayou Ford YouTube chat on the 104.5 ESPN YouTube page, or hit us up on X at Louisiana Prep.
Kate, we already have people texting us wanting the West Side score. So West Side 48, Oak Point 47.
They played the supermarket?
I think so.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. We'll take a time out. We'll be right back. This is the Week 3 edition of Louisiana Prep Scoreboard, presented by Lake Urgent Care on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Don't have time for a stomach virus?
I don't have time to be sick today.
When you're sick after hours or weekends, you don't have time to wait around. Save time and money and feel better faster with Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
At Louisiana Turf Cleaning, our number one priority is athlete safety. We specialize in sanitizing and general cleaning maintenance of artificial turf sports fields. From the constant wear and tear on the field to the bacteria, mold, and viruses that get under those turf fibers, we take care of it all. We also remove any unseen metal in the turf that could potentially cut an athlete. For more information, call me, Kerry Myers, to get a quote today, 504-453-6950. And let Louisiana Turf Cleaning keep your playing surface safe, 504-453-6950.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Don't have time for cold or flu?
I don't have time for the cold or the flu.
We're here to help with easy, convenient online check-in. Virtual.
Brandon Brown, the head football coach and lead director at East St. John High School, and you're listening to Louisiana Prep Scoreboard on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Welcome back, Week 3, Louisiana Prep Scoreboard, presented by Lake Urgent Care. Coming up, another full scoreboard in just a couple of minutes. But first, we go to the hotline. In overtime tonight, U-High Cubs 27, Catholic High Bears 21. And the head coach of University High School football, the Bears, is Coach Andy Martin. Coach, thanks so much for joining us tonight. Congratulations on that win.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Coach, you down 14-0, not a very good start for you. And I looked at Kay and I said, this doesn't look good. That was with 7-something left. And after that, you answered with a good drive to close it to 14-7. Then you actually went up, tied at 14-14.5, went ahead in the third quarter, played really well once it got to 14-0, and you set yourself back. After that, you pretty much dominated or controlled the ball game.
Yeah, they really, they came out fast and punched in the mouth. They went down and scored right away, and then we shanked the punt, and they got great field possession, and the guy made a nice little return. And we but I can say this: our guys never panicked. Even on the sidelines, we're talking about what we're seeing, that type of thing. And our offense came through in a huge way. They were able to punch a score in, give our defense a break, bring it back down to one score game, and then our defense kind of settled in and really started playing. And I'm just so proud of our guys.
Coach, I was listening a little bit on the radio, and I've worked with Charles Musgrove a little bit. It seemed like he had a couple of big catches there for you. How's he fitting into the offense and your offense in general? Struggling the first two games, fighting through some injuries, but tonight you put it all together when it counted the most.
Yeah, our guys have all been stepping up. Charles had a great game. Zay Martin had a great game. We just, we're injured right now at our wide receiver position, and other guys keep stepping up, and that's the beauty of what's going on right now. We got different guys stepping up each game and kind of put it together a little bit better today. And we're starting to see, though, that last week Rum was a pretty good team. So we're playing a tough schedule. We do that for a reason, so we'll be ready at the end of the year. And I'm happy for how our guys are responding.
Jimmy, it's always tough from a coaching perspective is to get those kids' mentality to believe us when we say you can be the next guy up in one play. And when they can, there's a lot of credit to those kids.
And that's exactly what happened. Going into this game, 2 of your 3 wide receivers are out. Your running back's questionable. Even the receiver you have, he's questionable. You don't know, but they just kept answering. Defense kept them in it. They missed some tackles early in the game. Then they played extremely well after that. But I thought Aaron Weiss did a really good job of balancing the running and the passing. And I thought he did a really good job of when Blaine Bradford would walk down in the box, he would take some deep shots. And then when he would play back at safety, they ran the football, and I thought that was a really good game plan by Weiss.
He had a great game plan. I was excited, just talking to him on Sunday as to what they were thinking about doing, and we saw it coming together all week long, and I thought he called an outstanding game. He really did, and did a really good job of putting our guys in a position to be successful, and also kind of winding that clock down a little bit, and shortening the game a little bit with some of the things he was doing, and he called a great game, and our whole offensive staff proud of. Defensive guys kept them going. It was just a great game plan on both sides.
We talk. You can talk about all the big names that you have over there, but 2 guys who don't get enough credit for what they do is your left tackle John Hebert, who's a Navy commit. He's a leader of your offensive line, and then your nose guard's been playing really well in Case and Hill, forcing teams to double team him. And anytime Todd knows.
Did you say Taysom Hill?
Kaysen.
Oh, okay.
Kaysen. It sounds like it, don't it? But, Todd knows this too. Anytime when you have a nose guard, when you're playing a three-man front, if the center can control your nose guard one-on-one, the offense is at an advantage. But when you start having to take two to double-team him, then all of a sudden the defense has the advantage. So talk about those two.
Yeah, both those guys. John really anchors that offensive line that I'm so fired up about. They do such a good job, and they've been starting for 3 years, and John's really the anchor of that, and really does a good job with it. And Taysom, I can't say enough about him. I really can't. I love that kid. He does so much for us, and he's one of our unsung heroes. He doesn't say much. Everything he does with the leadership is with action, and he's just a great kid. One of the hardest workers we have, and really he demands double teams, and that's what helps our defense so much.
Coach, before we let you go, we're going to pull up a student athlete if we can get that up on the board for U-High. Barton Phillips, 3.91 GPA, 28 on the ACT. Plays football, bowling. He's in the National Honor Society, FCA, Key Club, volunteers at the Miracle League. Well, I don't know what he does, but he cooks pancake breakfasts, I hear. So I don't know what that is, but tell us a little bit about Barton.
Look, he's having a great year. He's one of those guys that stepped in as a senior to be one of the defensive ends for us, and we're just elated at the way he's playing right now. His first 3 games, have been outstanding, and he's another one that's just one of those guys that you don't hear much from, but quietly he's going to have 5 tackles on the night, and he's going to force guys to double him and allow for our linebackers to run free, and I'm just so proud of how far he's come with his work ethic and all those type of things. And then you can see he does it in the classroom. He's doing it on the field for us. I'm just super happy for him.
Coach, is he considered a program player in your eyes?
Definitely. He's been with us, 4 years. He played very little as a junior, but played a lot of JV ball and really was one of those guys that we saw that, man, as a senior, we really felt like he could be a contributor for us, and he's done it.
Well, Coach, congratulations. That's a huge win for you guys, the 2nd year in a row. Last year, the game come down to the final play. You kick a field goal to win it, and this one in overtime. It doesn't get much better than that. I hope this rivalry can continue, and congratulations to you, your staff, your administrators. Met Mr. George on the sideline, great guy. Just had a fun night out there for the first half.
Yeah, thank y'all for covering sports. Look, it was an awesome atmosphere. You saw the amount of people that were there. That's what you love about high school football, and seeing that many people come to watch a game. It was a fun atmosphere. But thank y'all for all y'all do. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach. Kate, do you want to mention Calico student athlete?
Yeah, let me pull that up here in just a second. And
while you're talking,
right.
Go ahead. I was going to say give you a second, but we talk about all the time program players and how important they are to teams. And those are guys that have been with the program maybe, and they probably won't play college football, but they're going to be there and they're going to give you everything they got on every single down, and whether it's a game or practice, and they just strive to get better. And when it's their time, they fit right in and they do exactly what you need them to do, and they become a really tremendous part of the big puzzle.
They make your team.
They really do.
They really do, because you every now and then you're going to run across that superstar.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not going to have the superstar every year. What's going to make or break your team are the program guys who are doing everything right on and off the field. If you have 11, 22, 25 of those guys, you're going to be successful without the superstars every year. And that is what it takes.
And that's really how this student State Farm Player of the Week call came about. We were all 3 talking and wanted to get guys that really don't get the spotlight.
The Player of the Weeks they're in the newspaper and on TV all the time. It's these guys who we like to recognize.
Yep. And, Cassie, if you can pull that graphic up one more time. The representative from Catholic High tonight, offensive lineman Caldwell Kurth. He's a letterman, had honors, state and district honors in 2023. Also a part of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. He's an officer, part of the Leadership Council. Volunteers for various community service. He's in Mu Alpha Theta. He's part of a club swimming team, 14-year with that, and also in 13 city championships, a junior classical league club member, National Merit Scholarship semifinalist, a GPA of 4.28. I think if you combine ours, I don't know if it gets that high. ACT at 34. Don't get much better than that.
Right. I tell you what, I have no earthly idea what Mu Alpha Theta is, but I bet is for really bright people, and that's probably why I don't know what it is.
That's probably look.
I
wasn't gonna be the dumb one to ask what it was. I'm glad you did. But look, you mentioned Charles Musgrove. I got to hang out with Chuck before the game at,
Yeah.
at the tailgate party. Roto-Rooter, our longtime sponsor, and was talking to Allison. She said she falls asleep many a times watching our show laying in the bed.
Well, that's
I
not good.
said, that's not a compliment, Allison. But, so hopefully she'll be awake. But I want to mention Mr. Larry Musgrove, Chuck's dad, Charles's papa. I know he passed away a few years ago. He had the best seat in the house tonight. We love that man. He's great.
Well, and I would consider maybe Charles another program player too. He's undersized, but he gives all the effort.
And waiting.
He's a spitting image of his father, unfortunately, for Charles. But Catholic Point Capee goes to 3-0, thanks to Wyatt Walker giving us that update as they beat Hannon 44-27, I believe I saw.
Thanks to our friends at State Farm, bringing you the State Farm Student Athletes of the Week each and every week. Let's get you caught up on scores, and we'll start first in this capital city.
The Capital City Scoreboard, insured by State Farm.
High at 27, Catholic 21 in overtime. Central is a 42-16 winner over Walker. Episcopal defeats Country Day 51-3. Lutcher over Liberty 28-6. John F. Kennedy 31, Sandoval 29. St. Michael over Estruma 7-0. Denham Springs defeats Woodlawn 16-13. And Zachary over Carencro 34-33.
The New Orleans Bayou Scoreboard, presented by Investar Bank.
Edie White defeats Hanville 21-18. Rummel over Shaw 35-21. Chalmette is a 9-7 winner over Holy Cross. Cardinal Ritter in Missouri defeats St. Aug 36-20. Dunham over St. Charles 20-15. Vanderbilt Catholic 28, Sulphur 6. And LB Landry 28, John Ehret 13.
The Acadiana Scoreboard, fueled by frogs at Magnolia Beach.
Acadiana over St. Thomas More 20-7. Turlings Catholic defeats Notre Dame 21-10. Sam Houston over East Ascension 48-24. Southside defeats Madison Prep 27-14. Opelousas over Lake Charles College Prep 27-12. Jennings over Welsh 54-29. And Church Point over Rain 34-27.
The North and Central Louisiana Scoreboard, pumped by Peak Performance.
C.E. Bird over Evangel 35-17. Parkway defeats Houghton 48-7. West Monroe all over North DeSoto 63-14. Airline 56, Union Parish 28. Franklin Parish over Calvary 32-28. Ruston defeats Longview out of Texas 21-10. Haynesville over Homer 27-12. And Ouachita defeats Sterlington 43-8.
The North Shore Scoreboard, connected by Rev.
Catholic Point Capee over Hannon 44-27. Lakeshore defeats North Shore 41-10. Warren Easton shuts out Slidell 21-0. Jules Sumner 40, Laranger 28. Amy blanks Independence 48-0. And St. Paul 21-14 winner over De La Salle.
At Louisiana Turf Cleaning, our number one priority is athlete safety. We specialize in sanitizing and general cleaning maintenance of artificial turf sports fields. From the constant wear and tear on the field to the bacteria, mold, and viruses that get under those turf fibers, we take care of it all. We also remove any unseen metal in the turf that could potentially cut an athlete. For more information, call me, Kerry Myers, to get a quote today, 504-453-6950. And let Louisiana Turf Cleaning keep your playing surface safe, 504-453-6950.
Do you think you have COVID-19?
I'm worried I may have COVID.
We're open 7 days a week for both rapid COVID and antibody testing. Life is busy. You don't have time. Get your results fast at Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks
have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Now back to the Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show with Cade, Todd, and Jimmy. Presented by Lake Urgent Care on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Welcome back to the Week 3 edition of Louisiana Prep Scoreboard. Cade Wazan, Todd Black, and Jimmy Roy as we roll on through tonight. Look forward to talking with a couple of coaches throughout the night who had a good Week 3, and one of them, Coach Thomas Bachman from up in Alexandria. They got a 45-27 win tonight. Coach, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate your time here on Louisiana Prep Scoreboard as always.
Absolutely, guys. Been a couple of years since we've talked, I think, so glad to be back.
The record setter.
Mm-hmm.
Are you still the record holder?
Never called. I don't know. I don't know.
We're going to have to look it up.
I don't know. Yeah, I should have told you that. What was that? I'm trying to remember what championship game that was. Well, technically, there's no 5A anymore. There's division, so it
still stands. There you go.
Usually, if there's hydration involved, comments are off limits.
Yeah.
Coach, man, you got off to a great start tonight against a really good Destrehan team. You jump out early, you lead 35-20 at half. End up winning at 45-27. Just kind of take us through the flow of the game.
Whew, you're going to have to get
Be a
me to
while.
recall all of it. Yeah,
Well, I think you rushed the ball pretty well.
Yeah, we did. We JT finished with, I think we got him for like 28 for 247, about 150, 160 of that, closing it kind of in the second half. I think I think he had 12 for maybe 99 in the first half, trying to chart his touches and, win the game if we run the football in the second half, and kind of committed. I think he got 16 for about 150 in the second half. So was able to ice the game. We were able to hit some explosive plays, played really well on defense. You see 27, one of it was an offensive touchdown. We give up a pick six on a poor call by me. And then we were able to get a stop, and we get called for PI that, we could debate was questionable. We actually intercept the ball, and they end up scoring right before halftime. So really had an opportunity to open it up in the first half, but didn't. But I'm proud of our kids that we found a way and battled in the second half and closed it out.
Coach, you mentioned Lindsey and everybody. That's JT Lindsey, LSU commit. The progress he's made over from the start of last season to today has just been huge.
Yep, it gets better with every touch that he gets. Every day of practice, he just continues to get better. People that listen, probably a new audience get tired of me talking, and coaches talking. I know it can be a coaching cliche. He's even a better kid off the field. And sometimes that gets overused, but I do think it's an accurate description of who he is. His teachers love him, want him in the classroom, speak highly of the work ethic that he has in the classroom. And obviously I can speak to his work ethic and how he's developed himself. And you talk about, where he started last year and then where he is. And over the course of last year, just watching him grow each and every week. And it's fun to watch. I'm glad he plays for me.
Does he know how fortunate he is to have a good offensive line in front of him? I think you have 3 seniors on that offensive line. And, people talk a lot about the running back, but they can't run if they ain't got blocking up front.
He gives the credit away. He's one of those leaders that understands you take the blame and you give the credit. He certainly loves on those boys. We don't have necessarily permanent captains the way that we do it here at our place. Now there's some of those guys that happen to get. I tell them every week, and it's like, J2, who else you want? Boy, he'd grab them off. I want Jacoby. He wants his boys right there with him as captain. So he certainly understands that they're doing the dirty work in front of him.
Coach, you went into the season with a quarterback battle. Carson Sellers, the sophomore, seems to have taken control of that job. How's he doing?
He's phenomenal. I feel good about them both. Going to continue to play them both. Going to continue to develop them both. Carson probably got a few more series tonight over the course of the game. I think that there are certain things that he brings to the table that maybe Max doesn't bring to the table, but I do think that there are things that Max brings to the table. So, we're going to continue to develop them both young. You never know. You're a play away. Destrehan is having to play with a young quarterback. I think that's worth acknowledging that, they've got a difference-making quarterback that's sidelined with an injury right now. And we weren't sure what we were getting tonight, because they played it pretty close to the vest. We had no idea really how to prepare, so you're trying to prepare for a bunch. So knowing that, we're going to continue to develop them both, but I'm extremely proud of the way they played and the way Carson played tonight.
Todd, I know you have something to say, but I want to mention that Destrehan quarterback situation. For those who don't know, Jackson Fields, he was injured last week. He didn't play tonight. Freshman, how you say that? Oshie Smith is a freshman. He played last
Mr.
week.
Smith.
And you think about this. He was a freshman who hadn't got to play a game, a ninth grade or a JV game, because the week before they had weather, and then they had the hurricane last week in that area. So he didn't get to play. His first time he steps on the field, it's in varsity action. And then you go to Ash to play a good team. So that's the Destrehan situation. Go ahead, Todd.
No, I was just going to – go ahead, Coach.
No, I was going to say number 7, actually, the kid that I think is an LSU committed safety.
Jace Thomas.
Played some quarterback in the first half, and I think he went down with an ankle injury, and then that kid kind of played. So I can't remember the exact flow of whenever, the young freshman came in, or number 6 came in, but number 7 played some quarterback tonight. So,
regardless of the athlete back there, your defense, Destrehan, we know from being down here that they have athletes all over the field. Not sometimes not knowing what to prepare for is harder than knowing what to prepare for. So your defense really, to hold them to 27 points, did a phenomenal job, and they've done first. I think they gave up 7 points and maybe 12 last week. So they've done a really good job for you the first 3 weeks. So you have to be proud of them. So we got to give them a little bit of credit while we're talking about your team.
Extremely proud. Had their back against the wall a couple times. We sputtered there in the second half a couple times, and they kept holding strong, really till the fourth quarter. We gave up, they hit us on a screen, and number one got loose. And when it turned into a foot race, we just, we couldn't catch him. He went about 80 yards on a screen in the fourth.
Coach Thomas Bachman from Alexandria is our guest. Coach, we again appreciate your time here on the show. Congratulations again on this win, and best of luck as you guys look forward to week 4.
Hey, before we let you go, what record was Jimmy talking about?
Oh, here we go.
See if he can remember. Because if he can't remember, I ain't telling you.
Most receptions in a game.
Really?
In the state championship.
Awesome.
State championship.
Hey, I was messing with you.
Long time ago. And if we talk about it, somebody's gonna break it. So we got to quit talking about it.
All right,
That's
Coach.
awesome.
Thank you, man.
Y'all be good, guys. Appreciate y'all having me on.
Absolutely.
Okay, before we go to school, I want to go back to that. And Todd had some video, I think. Do you have video of St. Charles and Dunham? Can we pull that up?
Pull that up.
I got the video. Is kind of where it picks up is in the fourth quarter with St. Charles leading 15 maybe to 8.
You know, a couple years ago, Dunham went to the finals.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say, I'm not going to tell you they're going to the finals this year. But I think this Dunham –
a heck of a run there.
I think this Dunham team may be better than that Dunham team 2 years ago. You know, back in the day, Neil took a lot of people talking about his teams were soft. Dunham's not soft. They bring it. They get after you up front. Their defense gets after you. I think Caleb's brought a good Leindecker's brought a good mentality to him. Randy used to help. Now he's just doing stuff from the press box, but their mentality over there has changed. Not only are they really good with Elijah Haven at quarterback, but they are more physical than people give them credit for. And
yeah.
They've done a hell of a job.
It's a good defensive play right here by Dunham that helps set up this. Here's a big break right there. Could have been picked off. It wasn't. Set up like a 4th and long. You'll see Elijah Haven roll out to the left. They're going to get a pass interference call, which is a good break. And then you'll see Elijah Haven also make a great pass. That's him rolling to his left, throwing it about 45 yards in the air. And, they get the interference call there. But they believe. You can tell. I mean, you're playing St. Charles, a team you lost to 2 years ago, but who has a great amount of respect around the state. Jason Brown does a good play. Good
Great
job
defense.
Defensively. Wayne Stein offensively. But watch this throw right here. Little post right over the top.
Wow.
He's incredible.
Yep. And that put him up. But the defense ended up making a big stand there towards the end. Offense can be – we talk about it all the time. Defense travels.
Right.
And, even though they were up, they still had some time to go. But the defense for Dunham stood up and really made a good play there towards the end and held on to beat St. Charles at St. Charles.
And you see those bright lights from the Coach Electric put those up?
Did
One
they?
of our sponsors. They sure did.
Nice.
Sure did. But yeah, you talk about St. Charles, their defense. They don't give up anything big. They're hard to – look at what they did against Arch Manning for his 4 years there. They just created chaos for him. They did it against Elijah.
Yeah.
Same kind of things that like Rummel does. Rummel just don't give up a big play.
Jason Brown and Leindecker, they're very similar when you talk about intensity. For a head coach to have those guys on their staffs is why their defenses are so good.
Big win for Dunham.
Dunham coming away with a 20-15 win over St. Charles Catholic tonight. I tell you what, we'll take a timeout here, and we get back. We'll have some scores, more interviews coming up in just a bit. You're listening to the Week 3 edition of Louisiana Prep Scoreboard, presented by Lake Urgent Care, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, and Your View.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Don't have time for a new rash?
I don't have time for this.
We're here to help with convenient virtual visits on your computer or any mobile device. If you don't have time to be sick, feel better faster with Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Don't have time for a stomach virus?
I don't have time to be sick today.
When you're sick after hours or weekends, you don't have time to wait around.
Coach K from Wiseman High School, and you listen to Louisiana Prep Scoreboard with Kay, Todd, and Jimmy on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Coming up in just a bit, we'll look at Thursday night scores, but first we'll get you caught up on what happened tonight in all 5 regions, and we start first in the capital city.
The Capital City Scoreboard, insured by State Farm.
In overtime, University High defeats Catholic High 27-21. Central all over Walker 42-16. Episcopal defeats Country Day 51-3. Lutcher over Liberty 28-6. John F. Kennedy defeats Sanamaw 31-29. St. Michael blanks Struma 7-0. Denham Springs over Woodlawn 16-13. And Zachary defeats Carencro 34-33.
The New Orleans Bayou Scoreboard, presented by Investar Bank.
Edna Carr blanks McDonough 35, 47-0. Edie White over Hahnville 21-18. Rummel defeats Shaw 35-21. Chalmette over Holy Cross 9-7. Cardinal Ritter, Missouri 36, St. Aug 20. Dunham over St. Charles 20-15. Vanderbilt Catholic defeats Sulphur 28-6. And LB Landry 28, John Ehret 13.
The Acadiana Scoreboard, fueled by frogs at Magnolia Beach.
Acadiana over St. Thomas More 20-7. Turlings Catholic defeats Notre Dame 21-10. Sam Houston over East Ascension 48-24. Southside 27, Madison Prep 14. Westgate defeats Lafayette Christian 39-28. Opelousas over Lake Charles College Prep 27-12. Jennings defeats Welsh 54-29. Church Point is a 34-27 winner over Rain.
The North and Central Louisiana Scoreboard, pumped by Peak Performance.
C.E. Bird 35, Evangel 17. Parkway is a 48-7 winner over Houghton. West Monroe all over North DeSoto 63-14. Airline defeats Union Parish 56-28. Franklin Parish over Calvary 32-28. Ruston defeats Longview out of Texas 21-10. Haynesville is a 27-12 winner over Homer. And Ouachita over Sterlington 43-8.
The North Shore Scoreboard, connected by Rev.
Catholic High, Point Capee 44, Hannon 27. Franklinton's a 29-28 winner over Pine. Lakeshore over North Shore 41-10. Warren Easton shuts out Slidell 21-0. Jewel Sumner over Laranger 40-28. Amy blanks Independence 48-0. Kentwood 22, St. Helena 18. And St. Paul 21, De La Salle 14.
Thank you, Skip. Stick around. You're not going to want to miss our conversation coming up in about 10 or so minutes from now, 10, 15 minutes from right now. Coach Rob Causey from Leesville, head coach of the Wampus Cats. Big things happening on that campus from a standpoint of records being broken, but a great conversation, fun times. We look forward to talking with him. Looking back on some Thursday night scores, certainly we talked about JFK with the 24-yard field goal to wrap that one up and defeat Sanoma last night. Wasn't aware of these forfeits, honestly, until I saw some of the reports this week, but that did affect some games last night as well. And Southside over Madison Prep, 27-14. That one's another one that stood out.
I think Ouachita Parish is opening some people's eyes up there in Monroe with a big win over Sterlington. Last year they went nip and tuck. I think Sterlington won in a shootout this year.
Ouachita 43-8 over Sterling. That game was 8-8 at the end of the first quarter. Ouachita took over after that, scoring 35 unanswered. The big flip of the momentum came when Ouachita scored right before the half, and then got the ball back to start the second half. I think they scored on their second or third play. That was a 14-point swing right there. When you play Sterlington, you got to stop the fullback dive first, obviously, and Ouachita's defensive line dominated the game. Have a four-star guy in Dylan Berrymon, A.J. Washington, Petey Jones, and Tedrick Ritzel. All dominated that controlled the line of scrimmage for Ouachita, and the quarterback Montrell Connor.
He's been there since 1988, I think.
I think that's another one. I'm going to have to check on that. But, yeah, it seems like MJ Dade had a good night. Ouachita rushed for 242. Cade, you mentioned Southside. They jumped up to a 21-0 lead. Had two long runs in the first quarter by Ramon Singleton, 68 yards and 73 yards. They scored 21 points in the first quarter. Madison Prep made it 21-14, had an 80-yard touchdown pass from Tylen Johnson to Keon Robinson. Southside scored the final points late in the third quarter. The Southside rushed for 250 yards, running that triple option flex bone. Madison Prep is 0-3. They're kind of like Karen Crow. Karen Crow's 0-3. They both play difficult schedules. Madison Prep losing to Dutchtown, Mandeville, Southside. You're fixing to see Madison Prep going to roll in their district until they play U High.
You're not going to mention Pine Prairie?
You go ahead. They had a
they had a 23-game losing streak come to an abrupt halt last night as they beat North Central 60 to 6.
Repeat that score, 60?
60 to 6. They lost 23 games straight, and you win 60 to 6.
You do it right.
Yeah, if you're going to go big.
Wow.
Yep.
Southwood was close.
Yep, Southwood was close. I'm really trying to be the what do you call these people when they're boxers? They're promoters. I want to promote a Collegiate of Baton Rouge and North Central game, maybe in Lafayette at the Cajun Dome. Yep, the Cajun Dome, not the field. The Cajun Dome, play flag.
How many people in attendance?
How many bus drivers they got?
One each.
And with that said, that's hour
man.
one of week 3 of Louisiana Prep Scoreboard, presented by Lake Urgent Care. We'll take a timeout. When we get back, we'll get you caught up on everything that's happened tonight. And as always, you can follow that ticker on the bottom of the screen for a full scoreboard. Kate Wazan, Todd Black, Jimmy Roy. This is Louisiana Prep Scoreboard, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, in your view.
Don't have time for a cold? A cut? Those allergies? Or a sprain?
I really don't have time for this.
Lake Urgent Care is here to help with easy, convenient online check-in, virtual visits, or walk-in care. Plus, we're kid-friendly and open 7 days a week, including holidays and weekends. When you don't have the time to be sick or hurt, feel better faster at Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
The Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show, presented by Lake Urgent Care on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. From the Jamborees to the Superdome, your source for the most up-to-date scores and stats is right here. Now, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, here's Cade Wazan, Todd Black, and Jimmy Roy.
Hour number 2 here of Louisiana Prep Scoreboard, presented by Lake Urgent Care. Week 3 edition. Coach Todd Black.
Hey, we always have a couple things on here. I know you guys are going to talk about something as well, but we have fun on the show. It's all about high school football, but there's also we get texts sometimes about different benefits, and this one is coming out of Catholic Point Capee. Bo Souye benefit. It's a 30-gun raffle. He is battling cancer and going through treatment, and they're doing a fundraiser for him. So Bo Souye, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. You know that North Louisiana comes out in me a little bit, but it's a benefit. It's a 30-gun raffle. You can go to rafflecreator.com and Bo Souye benefits. And, it's a great cause, and obviously we hate for anybody to go through that, especially young kids. And so we'll have you in our thoughts and prayers. But if you can, please definitely go to the Bo Souye Benefit 30-Gun Raffle, rafflecreator.com.
Okay, while I'm correcting myself, pull up that other benefit for West Feliciana real quick. I think we have Coach Causey on hold just a second. Correct Southside. They didn't rush for 250 last night. They rushed for 398 and also held Madison Prep to -7.
Jess Curtis text you that?
Nah, another friend on the staff. I don't know if we'll get to call this one in the playoffs again, though, this year. He might be playing this year, actually. Coach Causey, do we have you there? We're gonna. Wait, you got it, Cade?
Let's go to
Let's go to Coach Causey first.
Coach Causey from Leesville. Coach, what's up?
Just driving.
Just driving, huh? Coach, first question I got. Who had more yards this week, the scout team quarterback or Xavier Ford?
It's always going to be me, baby. Now, that doesn't bode well for our defense, does it?
No, they gave up 35 to Manny when they hadn't scored but about 7 all year.
Well, a lot of that was on our JV. He kept throwing vertical on our JV kid, so I'll take that.
Well, Coach, how many yards did Xavier Ford have tonight?
I don't know. He could have rushed for about 899, but we called off the dogs early. We tried to, we didn't want to. I believe in the gentleman aspect of the game. We didn't want to run it up or try to embarrass anybody. We just went in with a game plan that, we wanted to establish trying to throw the ball early and then run him a little bit. And then once we got up about 35, we kind of pulled back. And then probably our number 2 guy, little freshman, probably had more just because, we were just trying to eat the clock toward the end of the game. And so had a lot of young kids trying to play starting in the second half.
Coach,
a lot of young kids.
Coach, I doubt that Jimmy told you he had partners on this show. My name's Todd Black. We got Cade Wazan. My question to you is, do they still have the fireworks show before the game?
Yeah, it was cool. They had motorbikes and had fireworks. That was awesome.
Because I knew back in the we'll tell you the history behind us and Manny. I just, with the split and all, but the whole thing is, I knew they did the fireworks show back then, and I didn't know if they were continuing that. And they had a great atmosphere for it, but it's the last couple of years.
It's a great atmosphere.
Coach, let's get a little serious about Xavier Ford, though. He's 5'10", about 210 pounds. First 2 games of the year, he has 710 yards, 12 touchdowns. He has over 5,500 yards in his career. Of course, we all know Michael Ford. That's Michael Ford's nephew, for those out there listening who has asked that question. Just tell us a little bit about not only Michael Ford, Xavier Ford, the football player, but the type of person he is, because when you and I talked yesterday, I think it was, you just raved about how good of a kid off of the field he was.
Oh, his high character. You know, I tell everybody, you know, the few coaches that come by, I tell them that you will not find whatever you like on film, whatever you like, he is 10 times that as a person, and that's his greatest trait. You know, and so, you know, when you're looking for those kind of kids, he makes, you know, he's what makes his job exciting, because, you know, you get a kid like that day one, when he walked on campus as a freshman, you know, his mom and daddy done a great job raising him. You know, he's high academic, and he has a serious work ethic. Like, he's intent in everything that he does. Is that one of his keys is that he is consistent, and he's been consistent since he was a freshman, even when he wasn't playing, but just mop up duty. His training and his you know, his mentality was be consistent and act like you have the job before you have it. And that's so crucial, you know, and he's just been able to maintain that through his freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year. Just a phenomenal young man. I told him, I said, if you never want to play football again, I'm still your number one fan, because you're greater to me than a football player. This is just a game, and this game ends for everybody, and we put too much importance on it. It's about developing young people, young men, adults, and he is so quality. I said, you got a fan in me for life.
Coach, when in this day and age, there's so much in athletes at various levels of instant gratification, expecting things just to be there. It seems like this is not the case with Xavier Ford. And he had a guy ahead of him, 1,000-yard rusher, I believe, his freshman year, and waited his time. 2 great years back to back. It seems like he is not that. In a world where there's a lot of me, he's just not that kind of guy, and he's the guy you really want to have on your side.
Oh, listen, he doesn't play the game, and I try to tell, you know, hey, he's not one that's going to he's not the splash and dash guy. You know, he's not in it for the flash and the social media post. The kid is just a worker. You know, in the summers, you know, he's always had a job every summer working, and on top of trying to, you know, improve himself and work and in the weight room and different things. You know, he plays multiple sports, and he excels at all of them. And he's just a great kid and great role model for the younger kids, because he's the same no matter what. And that he is not about outcomes. He's just going to be the best kid that he can possibly be every day, and whatever happens, happens. But he's not going to let, you know, negativity or outcomes determine his focus and his attitude.
I've seen some highlight videos of him, and he's really impressive. But also, to accomplish what he's doing, knowing that he's going to touch the football 30, 40 times a night, knowing he's going to come straight at you, you got to give a little bit of credit to that offensive line. I want you to talk about that group, Coach.
And that bunch of kids right there, you know, nobody knows their names. You know, there's 3 kids. There's one, our center started for 3 years, Andrew Lewis. We have 2 other seniors up front that are 2-year starters, Kenneth Ingram and Jathan Hurd. And that's all. And those 3 guys and Xavier, the only 4 starters we had returning on offense. That's it. And we've had some young kids that have stepped in at the guard spot, and Renee Slover and Jaron Eakes, and they have just come in and they just compete. Our H-back is a 2-way player. DeAndre Herring, with our nose guard, we put him at our H-back, and we just try to roll with it. You know, kids just compete, and very unselfish. You know, that's the key, you know, because everybody's about their own glory these days, and with social media and all that, and these kids just go every day, and they compete. And that's our secret to some of our success has been their unselfishness.
Explain to our viewers the dynamics of Leesville football now, how much has changed. You know, they've had some Cecil Collins, Kevin Mawile,
Eddie Fuller.
Michael Fuller. Yeah, they've had a lot of good players come through there. But explain how the change has taken place from where it became a military-based town to now where it's just a training center, and you're playing with really local kids now.
We are. So they've been playing for over 100 years. My grandfather-in-law was on the team that went to Monterrey, Mexico, and played in the 1920s. And so you look, it was a small town. They competed in football. And then World War II happened. It turned into a training base. And they shut it down, opened back up in Korea, shut it down, opened it back up in Vietnam. And it stayed that way with training troops. Then they moved the 5th Mechanized Division here. And that's when you saw really an explosion in the student population. They really didn't have a lot of success in Leesville football. When you look into history, they only really won. They had about a 3-year period in the 60s. They had a 4-year run in the 80s. They had a 4-year run in the 90s. And then in 2000s, when I got here, we were hit and miss. We was good off and on. And one of the things that happened is that they started in the 80s. They got every good athlete off the military base from the 5th. And you had troops that would stay. You had older men that had older kids as they would rotate in. You had a school that had almost 1,200 kids in the high school and about 1,100 kids in the junior high and 2 grades. And so you had a huge population all over the parish from the huge military base. After the Gulf War, they transferred the 5th to Fort Hood, and you started seeing the student population drop. They had a phenomenal run in the 90s with Cecil and that group, and they had a great mixture of local kids and really good military kids. If you look at the kids that Leesville's had that have been phenomenal through the 80s, that great run in the 80s and 90s, they were not local kids. They were military transfer kids. Kids moved in here, and their dads, they would stay until they graduated. Well, when they moved out the 5th, they opened this thing up into a joint training where it's the largest training base in the continental United States, using the land all over the parish. And they train units from all over the world here using their facilities, the woods, the creeks, the swamps, different types of scenarios. And so troops don't stay long. They're younger. They don't have kids. They stay 2 years and they move. Our student population has dropped almost 400 since I got here in 1999. And our junior high has lost almost 800.
Wow.
And so it was a transformation of how do you manage, everything has changed. And so it's how you view it and how you organize your program. And so it's kind of transformed into we can't wait till we get this kid move in. They don't anymore. If you have a young kid that's in mom and dad's serving in the military, they're not going to stay here longer than 2 years. So if he's in 7th grade, he'll never play for you. You really have to pray that you get one as a 10th grader or 9th grader that they can stay, but they come from a school in the South that does the things that we do, or they can't help you.
Coach.
And so it's changing over to where you have your local kids, and we've been trying to build it through that type of structure.
We're with Coach.
I'm sorry, but
No. You're good. And we're with Rob Causey of Leesville. We're talking, about his team and also Xavier Ford. And real quick, Jimmy told me last night, because we had a kid in a similar situation, that he doesn't have an offer yet, and that's a head scratcher for me, Coach. And I know it is for Jimmy as well. How frustrating is that for you? And what does somebody have to do to get an offer?
Well, you tell me. I think that's $1 million question. It's like he's had a few from, the local schools, ULL, Tulane, I think maybe McNeese. But, you have such high turnover at all these schools, sometimes it gets lost. There's lack of communication because social media, they contact the kids and they don't go through you, so you have no clue what's going on. And then some schools just don't recruit him. It's like, what are you looking for? We're flyover schools now, where we drive through schools that they're far-reaching, and the recruiting game has changed. And I think the state schools are missing out all over the state. Not just my kid, but how many kids in the state are they leaving at home to go chase somebody that you're going to end up with the same record anyway, so you might as well recruit local and make money.
Coach, is this part of it? I don't want to get into a deeper discussion, but is this kind of what is the NIL?
Don't blame me now.
I know the NIL, the transfer portal stuff is hurting kids like this and state schools and stuff like that. So,
oh, it is. It's just changed. I made the comment, and I believe this. There was back in the day, they would drive to your school in a rental car, get out, and they would hit every school in their area and ask you got anybody. You would give them all kind of VHS tapes taped up with hey, this kid, this number, here's his information, contact information, height, weight, you name it. And the back of his car would be loaded with VHS tapes. Then they would go and then they would recruit your kid or not, okay? Now the coaches have access to everybody's film all over the country to the fingertips. Yeah, you got to pay to go to camps before they recruit you.
Yep.
Well, he's got to come to camp. Well, don't be lazy. But what happened to where you got out and worked it? You got in your car and you drove around and you looked. Now they got to come to you. Well, some kids don't have the means.
That's right.
They're not camp kids. They're not going to do those things, And so a lot of kids all over the state are being overlooked because they don't have the means to do that kind of stuff. And so they're missing out. So I ain't got no sympathy for them. Hey, you missed out. That's your fault.
Coach,
there's a lot of good kids that they could help them.
Coach, we appreciate you taking up your time tonight. It's been fun. I hope they don't have any voodoo dolls up in Manny left for you, like you did for us.
There probably is. That's okay. I wasn't getting a Christmas card anyway. Once you get in line, I already know I ain't getting Christmas presents.
Hey, well, you're going to get one from us.
Well, now I'm in trouble. Now I ain't getting nothing from Northwestern no more because of y'all asked me the question. I ain't getting nothing from Southeastern anymore because of y'all. I'm blaming y'all.
Well, you're on our Christmas list. Does that make any difference?
Y'all better come get some TJ Rib certificates of discounts for me or something.
Fair enough,
Coach. Coach, we enjoyed it. Congratulations.
Hey, everybody heard you on the radio, so I'm good. All right.
Coach, congratulations on the win. We'll talk to you later on in the season. We have to.
Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all. Go Cats.
Wampus Cats. You got to love it.
So Cecil Collins has the career record at Leesville, rushing 7,834 yards. And coming into tonight, I believe Xavier Ford had 5,828. And as we mentioned, he didn't play his freshman year, 2,400 plus yards 2 consecutive years in a row.
Well, people are familiar with Michael Ford. So, Jimmy.
Yep, that's his uncle.
There you go. And so there is some relation there.
It goes back to his grandpa playing there. I mean, he gave me the whole family tree yesterday on the phone.
He just gave us the family tree of the military service there, too.
Wow. Great interview right there.
Yeah,
that
it was. Very good day, dude.
Yeah.
Good job.
We'll take a timeout. We'll be right back. This is the Week 3 edition of Louisiana Prep Scoreboard, presented by Lake Urgent Care on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and Your View.
Don't have time for cold or flu?
I don't have time for the cold or the flu.
We're here to help with easy, convenient online check-in, virtual visits, or walk-in care. When you don't have time to be sick, feel better faster at Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction.
Now back to the Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show with Cade, Todd, and Jimmy. Presented by Lake Urgent Care on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Got a scoreboard coming up for you in just a bit, but I want to pass along this bit of information. The West Feliciana dance teams present their first annual chili cook-off. You can get your team together and get everything organized. October 19th is when this is going down, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. over at Parker Park. $5 taste test ticket. But if you're getting your team together, getting everything organized, 4-person teams, it's $100 per team, $50 per youth team, family fun entertainment. And as you're trying to coordinate, you can email Malazzos at, that's MILAZZOS at WFPSB.org. And for more information, we'll send this out on social media, but that's coming up. It's the West Feliciana Dance Team's first annual chili cook-off, October 19th.
Skip's been in a cooking chili contest.
So can we enter? Or it's a team. It's a team. We can all get together.
Jimmy's got the money.
And the pot.
Hey, so that little thing.
Yeah, I do now.
What do you call those things?
QR code.
Yeah. So could people on their TV just look at that QR code and it comes up?
Technically, yeah. Huh? Right? Somebody smarter than me. Answer that.
Well, not Skip.
Skip saying yes.
I was waiting on Ryan to answer, and you said somebody smarter than you. It ain't Skip.
I didn't hear Ryan.
I know how QR codes work, and I've been to a few cook-offs. So
there you go.
All right, so if you're watching us on YouTube or your view tonight, you can scan that and get your team together. Maybe we can put together a team.
Randy Gonzalez, athletic trainer, of course. You know, all these people know what mu theta alpha is or mu alpha theta. I mean, I feel like
math group, obviously.
Yeah, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. I know that.
Pythagorean theorem.
Damn, I thought I was the only one who knew that. Look, I'm doing some. So. Exactly, and I was telling some kids the other day. I said, I don't know why you don't need to learn that, and you'll never lose. It's the only thing I remember, and I've never used it in my life.
Yeah, you get your own tip calculator when you go to restaurants now.
I bet who probably made that was the waiters. Now you have to tip for no reason. They want you to tip.
They want you to tip at the coffee shop too. Drive-through. You do that?
That's their job.
Yeah,
but yeah, I do it because I want them to spit in it.
Where are we going?
I got a coffee for Todd Black.
Yeah. Hot tour.
With that said, let's go ahead and get to a scoreboard, and we start first.
He's been on TikTok.
In the capital city, scores now. Quick.
The Capital City Scoreboard, insured by State Farm.
University High defeats Catholic of Baton Rouge 27-21 in overtime. Central's a 42-16 win over Walker. Episcopal defeats Country Day 51-3. Lutcher over Liberty 28-6. John F. Kennedy defeats San 31-29. St. Michael over Ostroma 7-0. Denham Springs defeats Woodlawn 16-13. And Zachary a 34-33 winner over Cairngorm.
The New Orleans Bayou Scoreboard, presented by InvestStar Bank.
And the car 47, McDonough 35-0. Edie White's a 21-18 winner over Hanville. Rummel over Shaw 35-21. Chalmette defeats Holy Cross 9-7. Cardinal Ritter out of Missouri 36, St. Aug 20. Dunham's a 20-15 winner over St. Charles. Vanderbilt Catholic 28, Sulphur 6, and LB Landry 28, John Ehret 13.
The Acadiana Scoreboard, fueled by frogs at Magnolia Beach.
Acadiana defeats St. Thomas More 20-7. Turlings Catholic over Notre Dame 21-10. Sam Houston over East Ascension 48-24. Southside defeats Madison Prep 27-14. Westgate defeats Lafayette Christian 39-28. Opelousas over Lake Charles College Prep 27-12. Jennings defeats Welsh 54-29. And Church Point 34, Rain 27.
The North and Central Louisiana Scoreboard, pumped by Peak Performance.
Birds a 35-17 winner of Evangel. Parkway over Houghton 48-7. West Monroe defeats North DeSoto 63-14. Airline over Union Parish 56-28. Franklin Parish defeats Calvary 32-28. Ruston over Longview out of Texas 21-10. Haynesville 27, Homer 12, and Ouachita 43, Sterlington 8.
The North Shore Scoreboard, connected by Rev.
Catholic High, Point Capee 44, Archbishop Hannon 27. Franklinton's a 29-28 winner over Pine. Lakeshore over North Shore 41-10. Warren Easton 21, Slidell 0. Jules Sumner defeats Loranger 40-28. A-Mead blanks Independence 48-0. Kent Woods a 22-18 winner over St. Helena. And St. Paul defeats De La Salle 21-14.
At Louisiana Turf Cleaning, our number one priority is athlete safety. We specialize in sanitizing and general cleaning maintenance of artificial turf sports fields. From the constant wear and tear on the field to the bacterial, mold, and viruses that get under those turf fibers, we take care of it all. We also remove any unseen metal in the turf that could potentially cut an athlete. For more information, call me, Kerry Myers, to get a quote today, 504-453-6950. And let Louisiana Turf Cleaning keep your playing surface safe, 504-453-6950.
Do you think you have COVID-19?
I'm worried I may have COVID.
We're open 7 days a week for both rapid COVID and antibody testing. Life is busy. You don't have time. Get your results fast at Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction.
Coach Brett Beard from Denham Springs High School, and you're listening to Louisiana Prep Scoreboard on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Welcome back to Louisiana Prep Scoreboard, presented by Lake Urgent Care. Cade Wazan, Todd Black, and Jimmy Roy. You heard from Coach Brett Beard there, and Denham Springs gets a win tonight over Woodlawn. They're now 2-1 on the season. You know, games where they've certainly had to fight. They were down in week 1 to Hammond, struggled last week from the get-go against Central, and this one wasn't easy tonight, but they found a way to get a win.
They were down in this one and scored late to win it 16-13, and from what I'm understanding, they played at Woodlawn, and Woodlawn's field took a beating. Took a beating last year. Remember that game on national TV?
Yeah.
And then it took a beating week 1. They said it was just destroyed.
Didn't Woodlawn take a beating?
Well, no. Woodlawn's been.
I'm talking about last year on TV.
Yeah. Woodlawn's been in these games.
It was a 3-0 to U-High.
3-0 U-High that gave up a couple punt returns and interception return against Walker. That was the difference in that game. Played Denham, toe-to-toe with them, and 16-13, but they said that field was just tore up and it hadn't recovered. So, but hey, they got out of there with a win. We hadn't mentioned Zachary. Zachary, a 34-33 winner over Karen Crow. We mentioned Karen Crow going to 0-3. They played a brutal schedule. This is a good win for Coach Brewerton. Explosive as Karen Crow can be with Chance Babineau. You're watching Zachary grow up pretty quick. And Struma loses tonight to St. Michael locally 7-0. Kyrie Paul, one of the best, most explosive athletes in the area. And then John Martinez, another good running back for St. Michael. I thought that would be a little higher scoring game, but it's 7-0. Over in Acadiana, you had St. Thomas More. Acadiana beat St. Thomas More 20-7. St. Thomas More struggling so bad on
Their offense is
right
not-
now.
yeah.
Their 7 points came off of a scoop and score from Brian Broussard. Now,
Another
Brian
one.
Broussard has 5 interceptions
Yeah.
on the year. A scoop and score tonight. That's the only way that they were able to score.
But-
Westgate beats LCA. Go ahead.
Who was that against?
Westgate.
St. Thomas More.
Acadiana.
Acadiana.
So we know the Acadiana coaching staff, and we know that Zachary went over there and put up 33 points. Don't you think they were challenged this week to go to St. Thomas More? And
Oh, without a doubt. I was surprised, and I even talked to Coach Brewerton. He called me this morning, and he was surprised how well they were able to run the football on Acadiana. Now, St. Thomas More is known for throwing the football, but you go back, they jumped to a 21-0 lead against Karen Crow in week 1 and held on to that one 21-20. They put up 14 last week, and then tonight your offense gets shut out. So they're going to have to find some ways to win. Westgate gets a win over LCA. That's their first time that they've been able to beat LCA. LCA was 4-0 had outscored Westgate 106-30 in those games. Turling continues to roll. They got a win over Opelousas. Who they beat last week? Turling's Sam Houston, and now Notre Dame. Their offensive line, like I said, they're living behind those guys. Sam Houston with a big win over East Ascension. You can go up north. Up north had a lot of really good games. Alexandria, we talked to Coach Bachman with a win over Destrehan. Ruston beats Longview 21-10 after being down 10-7. That's the first back-to-back loss, home losses for Longview since 2000. So, long time. Bird moves to 3-0, beats Evangel 35-17. That's the first ever 1-5A loss for Evangel. You remember they were in 1A a while back, then they went back down. Now they're back up. It's the first time they've ever lost a district game. Airline offense continues to roll. Union, they beat Union 56-28. Union falls to 0-3, but they've played a brutal schedule also. They're going to be right there. I think they played, Calvary. They lost to Ash last week and now Airline. So they've played some good teams. Don't be surprised to see them at the end of the year. West Monroe. How about West Monroe and North DeSoto? 63-14 over North DeSoto. Now, North DeSoto last week lost Cole Corey towards PCL. He led the state last year in receiving yards. He had, 1,431 yards, 79 receptions, 16 touchdowns. And now he had 18 for 245 this year. That's going to hurt them. I don't know if they were emotionally down over that, but they lost a tough one to Center Texas. I thought this was going to be a close game, but West Monroe they were up 49-14 at the half. They just blew them out. Haynesville in one of the longest, if not the longest running series in the state. This is their 117th meeting. Haynesville wins that one 27-12. Neville beats Holmes County, Mississippi, 34-33. That's a big win for Neville because, just for the simple fact that Holmes County had not been giving up any points on the year. I did not expect it to be that high scoring. And, of course, we mentioned Leesville and Manny already.
Go back to that Zachary game just for a second, because you mentioned that team growing. And, if you read that score on the surface, we know the success they've had. We know the standard they've set. You say, yeah, I can see them winning that ball game. But knowing where they're at right now and seeing what they've done last week, going toe-to-toe with Acadiana, they've had many battles with Acadiana over the years in a very winnable game there that they lost late. And then you come back and you get this win here. I think it's a big win because for a young team, when you're growing and you're trying to gain experience, getting these wins here can be so important.
Yep. And so
I think when you got to prepare for and
you got Opelousas coming up.
You got Karen Crow to prepare for them. They run that veer and shoot, they call it. They run veer and like a run and shoot type offense. It gives you a lot to prepare for.
All right, we're going to jump on the phone line right now from Franklin Parish. We got Coach Burnett on the line. They get a big win tonight over Calvary, 32-28. Coach, congratulations, man, a big win. Thanks so much for joining us.
Man, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
So you kind of woke everybody up when you came down to West Jefferson. You won 50-0. Last week you continued it, Coach, and then this week, I mean, a very talented Calvary team was a tough challenge for your team, and y'all stood up to it, and you put the state on alert, I'll say.
Well, hey, man, I appreciate it, man. We just played hard, man. Again, that's a great Calvary team. We had them on the schedule to kind of test. It was a litmus test to kind of see where our guys were. But we played well tonight, man, and I appreciate everything they did.
How did the game flow, Coach?
Man, the one thing that we trying to take more pride in and establish ourselves is more of a defensive team to have offensive weapons. And we started off with a pick six by our defensive end, Tavon Bell, who is very underrated, man. But to me, one of the top linemen, definitely in this area. He takes a pick six to the crib, and then after that, man, our quarterback, Desarian Ellis, took over the game and had a heck of a night. And
when you say a pick six, if I'm not mistaken, Wardell has about, it was 85-6, so 7. He's about 92 career touchdowns to 6 interceptions in a career, and they get a pick six. That's rare.
Yeah. And this is defensive end, man. He, he's one of the most athletic kids on our team. Read a screen, jumped up over the running back, caught it, made a couple moves. I think probably went maybe about 40, 45 yards on the touchdown score. So it was a big momentum shift early in the game, and we just kind of rode that for the rest of the half.
So, Coach, we know how kids are. Did he come off the field and say, "Coach, you need to give me some touches"?
Of course. The funny thing about it is, man, just like him, a lot of our athletes play both ways. We threw him a corner route in the back of the end zone. He ended up dropping it. So he catches a pick. He talk noise about the pick. We put him on offense, and he drops a touchdown. So I guess it balanced out in some type of way.
Well, Coach, tell us a little bit about your team. Who are some of the guys we can keep an eye out for?
Well, both Tavon Bell and Chris Addison, our defensive end, been highly touted and scouted by a lot of people in the state. I think both of them like 3 stars, class of 26. But a lot of it offensively goes to our quarterback, Desarian Ellis, 6'2", 185. And he really is a great athlete. He's also a class of 26. Defensively, we played well and had 2 interceptions by our safety, class of 27, Traylon Martin. And we got a host of other kids, man. Jacoby Brooks, Zay Bowley, Chauncey White, man. We got a lot of good athletes, man. We just don't get a lot of recognition in this area.
Well, Coach, another challenge will be for you this week. One was getting them up for Calvary. How do you get them to stay level going into week 4? Good question.
Oh no, it's a great question, man. And it's a real question. I remember back in, I think it was 2011 or 2012. I can't really remember. All these years kind of run in together. But I was offensive coordinator at Carroll High School when we beat Neville for the first time in like 33 years. And then the very next week we come back and lose our homecoming, and it was actually to Franklin Parish. So I understand a big win like this and riding it for too long, but we got to balance it. They have to be able to enjoy this win and remember it, because I think this is the win that can kind of put us over the hump. But what I don't want to do is ride it too long and it makes us lose focus for the task that is at hand next week.
Well, Coach, a heck of a win tonight. Enjoy it, and I know you'll turn the page and get ready for next week, but we appreciate your time here on Louisiana Prep Scoreboard tonight. Coach Adrian Burnett from Franklin Parish. Coach, best of luck in week 4.
Thank you, man. Y'all have a good night, man.
Hey, thanks for joining us, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
interesting story there on the.
Isn't that funny? But how kids are. You knew after he scored, he went and he told his coach, you got to get me some touches. So they threw him a corner out and he dropped it. So he's going to get more flack from his teammates about dropping that corner than he is from returning that touchdown. But, you know, they're in Winsboro and they don't get much coverage up there because they got Neville, they got Ouachita, you got Ruston, you got all those areas up there. But you know what? They did. They put the state on alert with that win tonight. It's a big win for Franklin Parish, and hopefully they can keep up that good work as their season moves along.
When you first said that score, I looked at you like, are you crazy? I hadn't seen it come across the Twitter feed yet. I'm like, wow, that is a huge upset.
That'd be a pretty good prank if I just looked at you and said, "Yeah, this all a joke."
Yeah. Man.
No, so that is a good win, and so congratulations to Coach Burnett. We're glad he could join us.
We'll take a timeout, and we'll be right back to wrap things up tonight. This is Louisiana Prep Scoreboard, presented by Lake Urgent Care on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, and your view.
At Louisiana Turf Cleaning, our number one priority is athlete safety. We specialize in sanitizing and general cleaning maintenance of artificial turf sports fields. From the constant wear and tear on the field to the bacterial, mold, and viruses that get under those turf fibers, we take care of it all. We also remove any unseen metal in the turf that could potentially cut an athlete. For more information, call me, Kerry Myers, to get a quote today, 504-453-6950, and let Louisiana Turf Cleaning keep your playing surface safe, 504-453-6950.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency. The light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Don't have time for a new rash?
I don't have time for this.
We're here to help with convenient virtual visits on your computer or any mobile device. If you don't have time to be sick, feel better faster with Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
Prep football from West Monroe to West Side. The Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show with Cade, Todd, and Jimmy. Presented by Lake Urgent Care on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
We'll give out some Week 3 helmet stickers in just a bit. Let's get you caught up on scores, and we'll start first in the capital city.
The Capital City Scoreboard, insured by State Farm.
University High defeats Catholic High Baton Rouge in overtime 27-21. Central over Walker 42-16. Episcopal all over Country Day 51-3. Lutcher defeats Liberty 28-6. John F. Kennedy over Sandoval 31-29. St. Michael blanks Estruma 7-0. Denham Springs over Woodlawn 16-13. And Zachary over Carencro 34-33.
The New Orleans Bayou Scoreboard, presented by Investar Bank.
And the car 47, McDonough 35-0. Edie White's a 21-18 winner over Hanville. Rummel defeats Shaw 35-21. Chalmette over Holy Cross 9-7. Cardinal Ritter in Missouri 36, St. Aug 20. Dunham defeats St. Charles Catholic 20-15. Vanderbilt Catholic 28, Sulphur 6, and LB Landry 28, John Ehret 13.
The Acadiana Scoreboard, fueled by frogs at Magnolia Beach.
Acadiana over St. Thomas More 20-7. Sterling's Catholic defeats Notre Dame 21-10. Sam Houston 48, East Ascension 24. Southside over Madison Prep 27-14. Westgate defeats Lafayette Christian 39-28. Opelousas over Lake Charles College Prep 27-12. Jennings defeats Welsh 54-29. And Church Point over Rain 34-27.
The North and Central Louisiana Scoreboard, pumped by Peak Performance.
C.E. Bird 35, Evangel 17. Parkway a 48-7 winner over Houghton. West Monroe defeats North DeSoto 63-14. Airline over Union Parish 56-28. Franklin Parish defeats Calvary 32-28. Ruston over Longview of Texas 21-10. Haynesville 27, Homer 12. And Ouachita 43, Sterlington 8.
The North Shore Scoreboard, connected by Rev.
Catholic Point Capee 44, Hannon 27. Franklinton a 29-28 winner over Pine. Lakeshore all over North Shore 41-10. Warren Easton blanks Slidell 21-0. Joel Sumner over LaRonger 40-28. Amite 48, Independence 0. Kentwood over St. Helena 22-18. And St. Paul defeats De La Salle 21-14.
Skip Cotrere getting our scores throughout the night. We appreciate him and appreciate you tuning in. Let's go ahead and give out some of our weekly awards, our weekly helmet stickers.
Highlighting tonight's top performers. This is Helmet Stickers on the Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show.
Well, Coach, since I stole yours last week, you go first this time.
You know where I'm going, to Winsboro, and Coach Adrian Burnett and the Franklin Parish Patriots, I think they've changed their name to, with their 32-28 win over Calvary and their 3-0 start.
I'll go next, but before I do that, I want to mention St. Louis kicker Zachary Sugandi. Last week had a 59-yard field goal against Bunkie.
Looked like it could have been good from a little bit further, too.
59 yards. And then also,
it's posted on the Facebook page.
Yeah. Also wanted to mention Oak Grove named their field after Vic Dalrymple. Mm-hmm. They're going to have Coach Gregory stays around long enough, they might have to name something else after him.
Well, he's a big believer, obviously, we've had on Vic Dalrymple, so he'll name everything he can.
That's right. That's right. I'm going to give mine to U-High overcoming the adversity they did with the injuries that they had and being down 14-0, not hanging their head. I looked at Cade with 7 minutes in the first quarter, and I told Cade, this one's over. And U-High
it felt pretty one-sided at that point.
Proved me wrong and just kept fighting. So I'm going to give it to U-High.
So I will I've got one real and one kind of funny one. I'll go with the U-High tailgate crew.
Oh,
and what looked like, I think, Little Smokey's
Little Boozy's great-grandfather. Yeah, Zachary's
he was kicking it tonight.
Zachary will have to pick up their tailgate party if they want to think they're the king of tailgate because U-High put it on.
How about a shout-out to, I know a guy we have a lot of respect for, Coach Dale Weiner, getting named to the upcoming Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame class. I know he's a guy. I remember we put together that package for him when he eclipsed his career win mark.
300th win, yeah.
But I know he's impacted a lot of student athletes over the years, and now will be a Louisiana Sports Hall of Famer.
Well deserved.
Well, like Pete Boudreaux said, if your kid had an opportunity to play for him, then consider yourself fortunate. I think he put it best in that tribute.
Well, and high school football is, I'll say, as long as people listen, it's a little bit different. If your kid goes into a program and is a better kid and better young man, when he leaves it, regardless of the win-loss record, it's a success. Very few are going to be able to go play at the college level. So and Coach Weiner was the best at that, teaching young men how to handle situations and do things the right way, and that's why he's in the Hall of Fame.
Cade's longest win streaks in the state now. Ruston takes that over. I think this is their 17th, and then Catholic and Southern Lab, two local teams, were tied for second. Catholic drops that one tonight. Their win streak ends at 12 games.
Big homecoming date for Brock tomorrow. That could have been.
That's tomorrow? Yeah. Okay.
He's already hit me up some cash. I told him to hit that Investar bank card. Don't come to me.
That's right.
Oh, man, for Coach Todd Black, for Jimmy Roy, as well as Ryan and Cassie and Skip, I'm Cade Wazin. We will see you next Friday night here on Louisiana Prep Scoreboard, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, in your view.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
At Louisiana Turf Cleaning, our number one priority is athlete safety. We specialize in sanitizing and general cleaning maintenance of artificial turf sports fields. From the constant wear and tear on the field to the bacterial, mold, and viruses that get under those turf fibers, we take care of it all. We also remove any unseen metal in the turf that could potentially cut an athlete. For more information, call me, Kerry Myers, to get a quote today, 504-453-6950. And let Louisiana Turf Cleaning keep your playing surface safe, 504-453-6950.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, Our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency. The light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their